All right, we sincerely apologize for the delay, a mishap in going live. Well, we are here live from Jacksonville as we're calling this game virtually with our man behind the cam, Wally Mitchell, in attendance, running our camera. As here's a chance for the Friars. Morbillo, a save! What a save made by Morbillo. Not the first great save he's made tonight. Here's a replay of the other save he had that we'll play now on the broadcast that I eloquently called prior that no one could hear as the shot goes across and a fantastic save made by Morbillo. Face off to the right of the ESM. Never mind, a chance, and again for the Friars is denied by Morbillo. The rebound bounces around and finally settled down by the Sharks. He'll bank to center. Getting back to it here is Joseph Cummings. Lays it around to the other side and banking it along. Nice play there made by St. Clair. ESM trying to get things going. ESM led by Daniel Brown. And with lots of support from their very, very talented back end of Jablonski and Beckman and more. Put out in front off a defenseman's stick, that being, or skate, that being Monteleone. And right on goal for Elko, who makes the stop. The 4-seeded St. Anthony Friars, a 15-4-1 season, 15 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie. And ESM Sharks, who had a very similar record in the regular season as they amassed 15 wins and 15 losses, no tie, the 1 point separating the two teams. Face off to the left of Elko. Controlled now by Palladino. He'll send it around. Everything has been killed off. No power play goals for either team, as there have been no goals in the game. That's obvious, Ryan. Yes, I know. Covered here by Elko. Played out. Friars look to break out. Intercepted in the neutral zone, but running into some trouble in the form of DeAndrea, who spins one on goal and is sticked away by Morbillo. Along the far wall. Taken over. Here's a chance. Becker to the net, and it's stopped. Another great save from Brody Morbillo. He's been excellent. I mentioned all year he and Austin Pagano had been switching goaltending duties, basically 50-50, especially when both are there. They both get playing time in the same game. However, I had not seen Pagano, so it looks like it'll be the Morbillo show for the entirety of this game. Banked around to the other side of the ice, the far side, and it gets only as far as the Friar defenseman and can't quite get a number on him. And pushed into the zone, it's Palladino. Palladino sends it up the far boards and not out, taken back. Daniel Brown has a little quick go at it and skated clear. Becker, Liam Becker, tries to split the D. He cannot do so. Nice move here from Brown. Brown to himself and eventually played away. A nice play made by the Friars' Griffin Gasparrett. Now back on goal and a save made by Elko, and he'll stop it with roughly 7 minutes and 37 seconds left here in the first period. 5 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first period. That's 5 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first period. To the point. Shot never got through. Came off the stick of Shupp, another one of the talented defensemen on this ESM side of things. Shupp, a more stay-at-home defenseman, paired up with the very offensively talented Kevin Beckman. Here they come, trying to anyway, and it goes the other way, and a chance for the Friars goes wide. Beckman will regather. He'll fire it past the stick, a shark stick, and all the way down to be an icing, stopping the clock with roughly 5:23. Faceoff comes back down to the left of Brody Morbillo. He has been perfect thus far. Tested early and often. There's another save made by Morbillo right off the draw as taking that shot toward the goal was Aspromonte. Reeve Chero will center Aspromonte. On his right, Cummings at the point. And Liam Becker on the left wing for the Friars. Draw a stalemate. Bonaventure taking it for the Sharks. They'll push it up the near wall. Into the Friar zone. That's Carl McGovern making a play on it. Another one of the very talented, albeit undersized, ESM defenders. Son of assistant coach for ESM, Carl McGovern. Here are the Friars sending in from the red line. It'll be Jablonski getting the puck from his goaltender Morbillo. Tries to get around Chero. Now it's taken back over by the Friars. Trying to get that one to the front of the net was Ryan Welter. Does eventually get there where it's cleared out. Slap shot back toward the goal. Never made it off the stick of DeAndrea. Off the glass and over the glass and out of play. Stopping the clock with about 3:51 left here in the first period. No score between St. Anthony and ESM. And once again, we apologize for the lack of audio in the early goings of the game. Again, catching this game from Jacksonville, Florida. It is I, Ryan Brownigan, joined alongside our now board operator, technical expert, Rowan Laddick. They joust for the puck, and now it is Becker taking it from Schupp, putting it toward the net off the stick of Schlicht, and it never made it through. DeAndrea gives Jablonski a bump. Or, pardon, that was Daniel Brown receiving the check. And now Brown will lead forward. It's Beckman into the zone, trying to get around Palladino. He does, and the puck does. Not quite in the manner in which he wants it. Now out of the zone, Daniel Brown must retreat, as will Beckman. And Beckman will win the race from Becker, and he'll put it around to the other side, where it's settled down by St. Clair, who leads Daniel Brown. Brown, centering feed intercepted by a back-checking. Excellent play of Liam Becker. Out of the zone, it is Schupp. He'll send it around to the other side. ESM regroup. Risky pass across, gets there. Daniel Brown over the blue. Plenty of Friars back on defense. It's caught up in the sticks and skates of DeAndrea, and now an offsides is whistled, stopping the clock with 2 minutes and about 35 seconds. You are listening to the LI Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League Freshman Playoffs. Quarterfinal, ESM, the number 5 seed, against St. Anthony, the 4. Put into the zone to the left of Elko, who will stop it with his stick and put it onto the stick of his defenseman, who turns it over. Shot on goal and a right pad stop made by Elko. Out of the zone, going the other way, here's Giacopi. Sharp angle try. I believe it hit the side of the net. Giacopi. Try to play one through, and it's intercepted and cleared by the Sharks. And lifted over the glass and out of play. About $1:49 left here in the first period. No score between ESM and St. Anthony. We just got done calling the very tightly contested Smithtown Hauppauge freshman red against Northport Huntington Tigers. And it was the Smithtown Hauppauge freshman red, the number 3 seed, taking down the 6-seeded Tigers in a very tight, very closely played 2-1 final. that went down to the bitter end. And from a broadcaster, obviously, who does not have a dog in the fight, I can only wish for the exact same in this one between the Sharks and the Friars. Reeve Charo to take the draw, Aspromonte to his right. Once again, the puck comes down into the corner. Charo centering feed, nobody home. Comes back to the blue line for Monteleone. Back down low. Sending across. Carrying out. Here is Brown. Takes the shot and a save made by Elko. And Elko will freeze it. A minute 30 left here in the first period. A minute 30 left. Face off to the left of Elko. Schlicht on the draw with Gabrielson. And Schlicht wins it. Here's Becker trying to clear. Beckman for ESM trying to stop it, as that is sure to confuse some folks. Becker and Beckman playing for opposite teams. Obviously no relation. Pushing forward with it was Kevin Beckman. Gabrielson will spin it into the opposite corner. Palladino to play it for the Friars. Gilbank went ahead for Schlicht. Schlicht getting past the defenseman. Tries to backhand one along. It's taken back by ESM. And a high flip knocked down by Becker. Right onto the stick of Schlicht. He'll try to get one through to DeAndrea. It's taken over by ESM. Carrying out a 3-on-2 over the blue. A long shot finds itself in the midsection of goaltender Michael Elko, and he'll freeze it. Face off to the left of Elko. Spun down low, hoping for Daniel Brown. Is brought back along by Becker. Hit the linesman. And now the puck in the zone. DeAndrea tries to drag it around Jablonski. Jablonski had other ideas. Takes the puck away. Puts it around to the other side. Flipped into the neutral zone. That's where it's taken back by the Friars. They'll try to flip it right back in. They will, but it's on the stick of McGovern. Carl McGovern gets it back over to the Jablonski. Jablonski, cross-ice feed to the red line and in. Pad save made as the final seconds of the first tick off. And we are scoreless after one. No score between ESM and St. Anthony here from the Rinks and Hop Hog, broadcasted in Jacksonville. We'll be stepping aside and we'll be right back for the second period of this playoff game. Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hog side of this freshman playoff game between St. Anthony and ESM. As Bonaventure will play it back to his defenseman. And now here comes Kevin Beckman. He's got the moves like Jagger, and he'll move into the zone and take a drive, and a blocker save made by Elko. Kicks to the far wall. Around now to the other side. The Friars enter the zone. It's Gasparic. Centering feed almost got through. It went all the way through, in fact, and almost got to its intended player. Fritzen holds the wall, so the puck remains in the zone only for the moment. As it now comes back out to center, we get a stoppage. 14:11 on the clock. No score. St. Anthony. Sorry, guys. St. Anthony and ESM. I just called a Smithtown game. That is obviously why I keep doing that, and I will stop. No more after this. Face off to the left of Michael Elko. St. Clair to take it. St. Clair with Iverzaj. Push down, and breaking news from the big man on campus, Mikey Brown, telling us we have hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. The big 10K for LI Sports Network. And here with it now is Pape. Pape trying to get it to the front of the net. And it's shut down, a loose puck, and diving back just in case was Morbillo. Yeah, nothing much to report on in that first period, just a couple of penalties that resulted in a brief ESM power play, some 4-on-4, and another brief St. Anthony power play. Palladino gets to it first. He'll get a pass over to his left winger, where it can be played out into center ice for Alec Giacoppi to move down the near wall. He's given a ride from Shupp. He'll give Shupp some of that love back as they both go down to the ice behind Morbillo. Quest for possession continues. Giacoppi continues fighting on as it goes down low. Jablonski on the puck. Able to push it over. It's rescued now by Daniel Brown. He'll pitch it into the neutral zone where it's cut off by Palladino. His pass in the skates. In the skates of St. Clair. Palladino prevails with the puck. He tries to march on, but ultimately must touch up on side. Giacoppi gets back on side, but now it's for Daniel Brown. 1-on-2 into the zone, Daniel Brown will try to take it to the background. He'll try to get around the defenseman, that being Gracie Griffith. Palladino will try to chip this one around to the other side. Getting there first is McGovern. He tries to pinch in from his defensive post. Puck now onto the stick of Dylan Schlick, the leading goal scorer for St. Anthony. 22 on the year. That one goes across and on to the other side. Cleared by the Sharks. Quickly resetting, it's Monteleone. Backhanding one ahead for Liam Becker. Sharks clear once again. They might have a 2-on-1. Gabrielson, he takes the shot right off the stick. Great defensive play by Cummings, deflecting it over the top of Elko. Keeping in is McGovern. Down that far wall, popping high into the air, right to the line, not out. 3-on-2 down low. Chance for Bonaventure. It goes off a stick, up and out of play, stopping the clock with 11:35 to go in the second period. Still no score between St. A's and ESM. Face off to the left of Elko. Controlled by the Sharks, only for a moment. Flip to the line. It eventually comes out in the skates, now stick of Aspromonte. He'll pitch it down the wall to the other side. Pops back out into the neutral zone. Monteleone will get it back going. He'll take a big hit in the process. And that's what you do as a player. You take a hit to make a play. Bonaventure comes over. It's Reeves Chero. Chero, 1-on-1. Chero, shot. Might have hit the outside of the post there. Now along behind the net. Coming down to pinch in the winger now on the stick of Kevin Beckman. He'll bank one, not quite out of the zone to the line. Ricochet, bouncing puck, comes to the near side. In the corner. Trying to get that one down low, Reef Chero. Loose puck picked up once again by Gabrielson. He could not get around Monteleone, who made a good defensive play. Taken back now by McGovern. Across for Beckman. Tipped into the offensive zone, no icing. Yes, did not tip, so we do have icing. With about 10:23 to go here in the second period. Look at us, right on the clock, right on the money now is Brendan. Taking over for Rowan as we have just a cycling group of production staff helping us, and really me, call this game. Here's Daniel Brown. Through the neutral zone, Brown. Shot wide of the net by Maniaci. Comes out to the other side. Not quite out of the zone, though. Now it is. Right back in it comes, and an offside will not be called. Oh, I thought Brown handled the puck in the zone there. Turned over. Chance. Save me with the left pad by Elko on Daniel Brown. Round to the other side. Cooper Ferrara. To the line, not out. Long shot with Brown standing in front of Elko is denied by the Friar Tendy. Off the draw, a fight for the puck that is ultimately won by Gasparic. To the line, not out. Pushed back along, the puck rolls around to the near corner. Huge collision. Huge hit there. Delivered by Joseph Camastro. Back the other way, Liam Becker tried to split the D. He split them all right, but he lost possession in the process. Back behind the net, tries to center a feed for Schlicht. Good defensive stick there from Schupp, broke it up. And now Jablonski will tap it around to the other side. Another hit. Things are getting physical here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League freshman playoff quarterfinals. St. Clair, a 3-on-1 developing and getting over. Give me, what a play by Gasparic. Breaks up the big chance for ESM. Tries to go the other way. Jablonski intercepts. And he'll hit St. Clair. St. Clair with Maniaci going to the net. Takes a bump from Gasparic. An absolute rock on the back end. And here's a lead pass. Moving in for the chance. And scores! Liam Becker breaks the ice. And the Friars take the 1-0 lead on a great pass from the defensive zone. They're unfortunately only able to get the end of that. My apologies. 1-0 Friars. Face off controlled by ESM. They'll just poke it into the Friars zone and right back out it comes. Here is Beckman. He'll backhand it in and chase after it. He'll be the first one to the puck. He'll bring it around the net. He'll cut to the middle. Puck rolls off his stick. He'll get right back on top. Take a shot and a save made by Elko as Beckman went around the world and took the shot. Face-off coming to the left of Elko. Get a couple of changes here. Thank you so much for tuning into the LA Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League Playoffs Freshman Quarterfinal. controlled in the neutral zone. 2-on-3, 3-on-3 over the blue, and Gracie Griffith will just backhand it down low. Aspromonte, pardon me, that's Pape. Trying to play it out in front, hounded by Carl McGovern. Played down the wall to the other side. To the blue line, Palladino. That's cut off by McGovern. And McGovern will lift it, deflected. And definitely did not get the red line, so that'll be an icing. On ESM. They trail the Friars 1-0. The faceoff coming back down in the Shark zone. Schlick to take it from St. Clair. Dribbling the puck is, and now can be settled down along the near half wall. Here's Daniel Brown exploding out of the zone. He's in the offensive zone. Daniel Brown from no angle, centering feed! Oh, if that was on goal and not deflected, a brilliant deflected. I think it was Reeve Chero who got his stick in, potentially saving a goal as Elko would have had no chance. Face off to the left of the Friar netminder. It is won by ESM. Across the point, shot. That went off a player in front. And now to the line, not out. Jablonski has it poked off his stick, and the goal scorer, Liam Becker, will send it down. And it will be an icing against Becker and the Friars. Becker in 12 games played, 10 goals, 6 assists, 16 points. As he has the second greatest points per game on the team, only to Dylan Schlicht, who had 30 in 17 games played. Face off back down to the right of Michael Elko. Won cleanly by the Sharks. Quick shot, another save made by Elko. And we'll have a quick stoppage here with roughly 6:25 to go in the second period. 1-0 Friars lead. The winner advances to the semis. Face-off won by ESM, barely held in the zone, but still held in. Another shot toward Elko is denied. Much better play since the goal was scored, I would say, from ESM in terms of shots. Back now the other way come the Friars, and skating through is Camastro. He'll try to pull one out in front. It is rejected. McGovern will backhand to the far wall. 2-on-2 breakout here for the Sharks. They're on side. Centering feed, the shot, a save made with the glove by Elko. It's worth another look, here we go. A solid pass here, tough to get a number. And I think that's Gabrielson again with the rip. He's had a couple of chances and a fabulous save made by the St. Anthony goaltender, Michael Elko. Puck knocked down. Brown giving chase. He's backed up by Maniaci. Puck in the neutral zone. McGovern, cross. Brown moving in. Trying to sidestep a defender. Lost the puck in the process. Right back in. Shot and a glove save made by Elko. Aggressive at the edge of his crease. Playing the puck from his stomach there was Palladino. He'll spring forward, Espremonte. Espremonte, the shot, a save made, Morbillo. Loose puck. And it's shipped out of harm's way, but not out. Held in for the moment now. Here comes Kevin Beckman. A 1-on-3, he'll chip the puck into some open space and go to get it. Trying again to get it around the Friar defender, that being Palladino. And falling down, trying to play the puck there, was Pape. ESM reset. Around now to the other side. It's sent in by Ryan Welter. To the line, held in by Gracie Griffith. Here's Giacoppi. Backhander, a save, rebound, wouldn't go. Morbillo with a couple of great stops. Griffith. Across. Camastro. Shot, knocked down, and covered by Morbillo. Pardon, that was Cummings, not Camastro, with the shot. And the score remains 1-0 in favor of the Friars. This game reminding me an awful lot of the game I just called between I mixed it up in the reverse there, between Smithtown Hauppauge and Northport Huntington, a 2-1 final. That was very close, much like this has been all the way throughout. Puck along the near wall. Becker, the lone goal scorer in the game, trying to send it down further. Centering feed, hit a stick. Reeve Chero, some space. There's not much there, so he'll just flip it across soccer style. Great move here from Gracie Griffith. She prevails with the puck. And will move around the net, Will Griffith. Up top. Here, Liam Becker, a long shot, and coming out of nowhere, seemingly, was the goaltender Morbillo to make the glove save. Face-off coming to the right of Morbillo. 3:11 to go in this playoff game between St. Anthony and ESM. A best-of-1 series. The winner moves on, the loser goes home. It is one and done. Back to the point. A shot deflects just wide. It came off the stick of Gasparic. Back down low. Friars pressing here. Couple of great chances in the last couple of minutes here. Along the far wall, held in. Gasparic having probably one of the best games for the Friars of anyone. But now is Daniel Brown. Daniel Brown with Griffith coming back to the forehand. He falls across the crease. Reminiscent of Bobby Orr, except he did not score. The shot wide now of Elko. And Welter gets knocked down from behind. Couldn't quite make out who it was. The numbers for ESM a bit tough to read when you're in the rink. Imagine watching now on camera, it definitely can be tough. There's a shot and a glove save made by Morbillo. 2:10 to go here, second period. Still 1-0 in favor of the Friars. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League Freshman Playoffs on LI Sports Network. Face-off. Won by the Friars, splits the D, so it'll come all the way back down. Monteleone playing it up the wall, taken over now by Bonaventure. Skating with it, McGovern. He'll try to lead Beckman. Now Bonaventure. Down the wall. Cross now to the other side. Cooper Ferrara. Fans on the clearing attempt. Turnover. Chance for ESM. Broken up by Palladino. Right now on the stick. A shot deflects wide. Friars send it out. Did it get a stick? It did not. An icing against the Friars of St. Anthony. Face-off coming right back down deep in their zone with about 1:22 as we see the scoreboard. 1:22 left in the second period. Just one goal in the game. It was scored in this period. Scored by Liam Becker. I mentioned it was a great pass. A pass from Camastro. To the point. Beckman, long shot. Crawling out to make the save. A beautiful pad stop. Fighting through traffic there. Michael Elko, worth another look. Comes off the stick of Beckman. And look at the screen provided by the own teammate and fighting over to make the save, Elko. Back the other way. Here's Schlicht. Schlicht. Across. A chance. Becker. Wide. Another try for Schlicht on the near side. Wouldn't go. Jarrow. It's played on back for Beckman. Beckman stumbles down. Plays it from one knee. Off the stanchion and out of the zone. We're under a minute. About 44 seconds left. Into the zone, Beckman tries to get around. Sprawling out again was Elko. Not out of the zone, taken back by the Sharks. Fighting his way through into the neutral zone of Fryer. That's off the back of the skate of St. Clair. Gracie Griffith backhands in. Loose puck. Schlick takes a stab at it. Playing it away out of trouble. Now a shot there from a sharp angle taken by Reeve Charo. ESM resume control, and they will bank one out to center that will not have the juice for icing. It's back now for Cummings as we have hit the end of the second period. 1 goal in the period. It belongs to the Friars. The only goal of the game scored once again by Liam Becker with Joseph Camastro assisting. 1-0 at the end of 2. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League Freshman Playoffs on LI Sports Network. Welcome back here. Third period action. St. Anthony and ESM. They're in a very tightly contested 1-0 game. Just 1 goal in the game. Both games played today have been very similar here in the playoffs of the freshman division. And what else could be expected between two teams who finished just 1 point apart in the standings? One a 4 seed, one a 5 seed. However, the last time they played, it was 9-2 the final. Jablonski in on the backhand. A save made by Elko. Along the near wall. Trying to play it out. Here's Palladino. He'll push it into the zone for the Friars. They have done a good job of limiting the chances of ESM to this point, the best they have. And when in doubt, Elko has bailed them out. Not to say Morbillo on the other end of the ice hasn't been outstanding. He has made a number of great saves for the Sharks. Cooper Ferrara will send in for the Friars. Jablonski to play it for the Sharks. 13:44 just about remaining here in regulation time. If we go to overtime, we stay 5 aside. Or, yeah, do we stay 5 aside? No, 4 aside? I think it's 4 aside, Brady. Brady doesn't know either. Giving me that frantic shrug as I mentioned his name. He wasn't expecting it. He's to my left. He's helping us out. Wraparound try denied by Morbillo. Back up top to the point. Monteleone through traffic. It's blocked. Doesn't get through. Jablonski there to kick it with his skate. Another try. This one whizzes across the crease of Morbillo. Chipped out the far wall. And now to center. A race after the puck. Monteleone getting there first. He takes a big hit in the process. St. Clair. Play goes on. Down low. Spinning out of trouble. Back up top to the point. Here's Beckman. Beckman, a long shot blocked. Blocked by Aspromonte. Aspromonte playing it into the neutral zone. It's banked ahead. It'll come on goal. It's stopped by Morbillo. McGovern will take it. McGovern. Was I? Oh my goodness, we are finally back on. Wow, oh wow, it has taken some time. Shout out the Wi-Fi at the rinks, provided by Cablevision. Grown, as we are finally back. Chipped out of the zone by Chero. A tying goal scored on a deflection by Jacob Sinclair on a shot from the point by Jablonski. Daniel Brown also getting an assist. There's Schlick to fire. He'll shoot it wide. Comes around for Beckman. As we are deadlocked at 1 with about 5 to go here in the third. It doesn't get much closer than this. I implore you all, strap in because it's a bumpy ride to the finish. As it slap shot 1. No, it's on goal. Blocker save made by Morbillo. Save made Morbillo. McGovern chips it around to the blue line. It's Gasparic keeping it down low for the Friars. Gasparic again, chipping it in deep. Becker, he scored one already. Will he have another? No. It goes wide. Kept in on the far blue for the moment by Aspromonte. And he comes back to get it and send it back down low. We're approaching the 4-minute mark of the third period. A chance for Giacoppi and another save made. A wonderful blocker save made by Morbillo. To the point, another try, doesn't get through. Lots of bodies out in front. So much traffic, it reminds me of Manhattan. Now out in front, and a save made by Morbillo. Face off to the right of Morbillo. What a wild game. Back to the point. A shot. Deflection save made Morbillo. Another try goes off the side and back of the net. Palladino at the far blue. A wrister sticked away by Morbillo. Ferrara to the blue line. Again, Palladino. Another kick save made by Morbillo through tons of traffic out in front. Here's Giacoppi. Full press here for the Friars. Ferrara! Say, no, it never got through. And now skating to center. The Sharks put into the zone, getting taken down. Perhaps a penalty. I don't know. I don't see the official. A shot blocked. And yes, a stoppage. It will be a penalty. A slashing call. Power play for ESM in the dying moments of the third period. Timeout is called. Boy, howdy. If you could see from our end what we've gone through in this war room we have set up in the Community First Igloo in Jacksonville, where we're calling this game from. We had some last-minute illness preventing our lovely play-by-play broadcasters back at home from attending this game. So here I am in Jacksonville, proud to be calling this game. I wouldn't want to miss it regardless, as I have called so many games from the freshman division as the year has drawn on. That at least nearing about 100 or so, I would say. It's a pretty conservative estimate. 3:28 to go, third period. 1-1 the score. Coming out of the timeout with a full 2-minute power play will be the ESM Sharks. They have trailed for most of the game, beginning in the early parts of that second period. It's been a very tight goaltender duel between Morbillo and Elko. Face off, 1, control for the Sharks. Fired to the slot, fanning on it Brown. Another try, goes wide. Centering feed broken up by Gasparic, who's been an absolute horse on the back end for St. Anthony. Great pass across. Brown couldn't tee up the shot, because why? Gasparic doesn't know where the puck is. Elko, he's spinning around, and finally it's spit out along the near side. Held in somehow. Played back. Walking in. A chance. A drive wide. And cleared to the red line by the Friars. Immediately, ESM come back in for a shot. That gets deflected wide from Brown. Another try toward Elko. Wouldn't get there. Jablonski holds in. Across. Here is Beckman. A shot, a save made by Elko. And he will hold. A minute and 8 seconds left on the power play. And right on our clock management is Brendan. He has done a stellar job of doing it despite not being in the rink. 5 big booms for Brendan as the face-off along the left circle, right circle. Comes across, a chance, Jablonski! Wide with the shot. I believe it got deflected wide. Another chance from the opposite blue line, off the mask. Another try, denied by Elko. Oh, Michael Elko has been unbelievable today. Here's another save by the Friar Tendy. Right off the mask. Down low, another try. He's right there to make the stop. Off the draw, my apologies. We're slightly behind here. Shot, deflection, bodies out in front, slap to the line. It does come out. ESM must reset. Their power play winding down. Long try, hits the glass behind Elko. They'll try to retrieve, trying to get it out are the Friars. It's Welter along the near side. Now Jablonski holding in across. Beckman walks. Beckman shoots. Save made, Elko. Welter, a chance to clear here. He does not. Jablonski across, takes a hit to do so. Beckman to the other side. Brown, a shot. Oh my! Another grade A save made by Michael Elko. He's on fire, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping the Friars in the game. As overtime looms, they have killed off the penalty of the Friars. Back to 5-on-5. Skating in with it. It's Welter, and they are offside. And I get a chance to catch my breath. So is Brady Campbell serving as our assistant to the production of this broadcast, gets me some water. Shout out Brady Campbell. He has done a number of these games as well. He was virtually calling the developmental championship. Congratulations to the Connecticut Sayville Thunderbirds on winning their DVL championship. A true Cinderella story. Taking down the number 1 and number 2 seeds. ESM, throw it on goal. It was Iverzaj, and it's sealed up by Elko. An offensive zone draw coming here for ESM. These 50-50s as Travis, our other play-by-play commentator, he is calling some AAU D2 games, emphasizes how important they are. The 50-50 belongs to the Friars. They get it out, they'll fire it on goal. It is gloved by Morbillo, and so an all-important offensive zone draw that was just taken by ESM will now be taken by the Friars. 1-1 the score. Alex Jablonski still credited with the goal from Daniel Brown. Tied it up here in the third period with about 9 to go. 9:12 mark of the third. Tied it up. That is where we have remained, due in large part to the goaltending of Michael Elko. Pinned along the wall. Time winding down here in the third. Still available. Out in front. Never got through. It was blocked and fired the length of the ice. And that will be an icing. Or have we run out of time? Wally, quick, scoreboard. I think, you know what? I heard the buzzer. Yes. I don't trust my ears. We have reached the end of regulation time, and we have not decided a winner. Overtime hockey. Better yet, playoff overtime hockey. The next goal will be the winning goal. Live on LI Sports Network, our coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Freshman playoff quarterfinals continues after this. Welcome back to the War Room in Jacksonville, where I'm calling this game. Live from the rinks, Wally has been manning the camera and doing a phenomenal job. Shout out Wally Mitchell, the best in the biz. 5-minute overtime. If we don't have a winner, we'll do another double overtime for 5 minutes. If we still don't have a winner, we will have a shootout. And we're underway. The next goal will be the winner and will send one of these teams to the semifinal of the freshman division of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Jablonski across. Push down the wall. Gasparic. An early candidate, or it's not early anymore. He certainly is probably going to get a Branny Biggin, a new award I have created here in Jacksonville. Here is Gasparic, banking one around. Turned over, chance here for ESM. Walking down, firing it across was Daniel Brown. Along the near wall. Back for Gasparic. Gasparic banks one ahead. Giacoppi is there. So is the puck carrier Ferrara. He lets one go wide. Over the head of goaltender Morbillo. He has been outstanding, as is Elko. That's how the score remained 1-1. A shot from the point through traffic. Knocked down out in front. Still available and sent into the neutral zone by Daniel Brown, who got a shove from behind. Around. They go D-to-D, go the Friars. Taken back over by ESM's Alex Jablonski. His goal tied it up at 1 in the third period. Sent in by St. Clair. Wraps around the wall. He'll go for a change. Hopping on the puck here. They look for a number. Is Gasparic. Who else? Down the far wall on the backhand. Griffin. Gasparic. Knocked to the boards. They still battle for it. DeAndrea coming on over. Friars emerge to the front of the net. That's where they lose the puck and can be skated out of the zone by the Sharks. Maniaci just able to nudge it on further. Down the ice it goes. An icing against the Friars. An O-zone draw coming for the ESM Sharks. That was Maniaci, not Iverzaj. Not sure which one I said there. Brady doesn't know either. Well, if I said Iverzaj, it was Maniaci. If I said Maniaci, I'm gaslighting myself, aren't I? Face off to the left of Michael Elko, who's been nothing short of a brick wall. 50-50 draw is fired down the length of the ice, and it'll be back-to-back icings against the Friars. Right there to the left of Brody Morbillo, who has matched his fellow opposite-end goaltender, Elko, step for step. He has been phenomenal. Both goaltenders the story in this goaltending duel. They'll drop the puck to the left of Elko. Puck back to the point for Beckman. Beckman, long shot, is easily stopped by Elko, and he'll cover it, and before he can play it, the whistle blew. And so copy-paste, we'll do it again. To the left of Michael Elko. McGovern will come on to play right defense, making a change, GSM. St. Clair to take the draw. The Browns St. Clair line is out. Control for the draw is not immediately assumed. They will battle for it along the near wall. The battle rages on. Here is Daniel Brown, the all-star, takes the shot. It's denied by Elko, who was also in the freshman all-star game, as was Schlicht. Just 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first overtime period between ESM and St. Anthony. Will it be the only overtime period we'll need, or will we have to go to double overtime? That's for the teams to decide and me to tell you about. Cleared by the Friars, tapping it along, trying to give it a chase. Nothing there. A good defensive play, and Jablonski will flip to center. Batted into the zone. It will not be an icing. Chasing after it is Daniel Brown. Comes along to the near side. Skated free now. It's Ryan Welter. Welter across. Past Aspromonte. He'll backhand it down low around the wall. Aspromonte gets back on the puck. Comes around on his backhand. Out in front. And there is Morbillo. And then some extracurricular coming out in front as we get another look at the save from Morbillo. You're going to see Aspromonte backhanded out in front and getting a touch for sure. There, I believe, was the Friar forward Reeve Chera. So here we go to the left now of Morbillo. The action shifts to the left end of the ice, the ESM defensive zone. That's where they won the draw, but they do not get it out. Fired from the point, another save Morbillo, and he will dive on top of the puck, stopping the clock with 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the first overtime period. I look now to my left, Brady. Brady, what have you made of this game so far? What a game, says Brady. What a game, says Brady. You guys couldn't hear him, but I could. Left of Morbillo. Won by the Friars. They backhand it down low, intercepted, and skated out by ESM's Alex Jablonski. Around the defense, put toward the front of the net. No one there, though. Would have potentially been a tap-in golden goal, but no one there. And the puck ends up into the penalty box. That's where our scorekeeper will go reach down and grab it. Hands it over to the referee. He'll drop it at center. 63 seconds remain in the first overtime. Deadlocked at 1. A Friar hits the ice. No call. Beckman speeds through the neutral zone. On his forehand. Sharp angle try is shouldered off by Michael Elko. Back on the puck, Beckman. Look at the moves. Takes the shot. And there is the glove of Elko, emphatically ripping the puck out of midair and handing it off now to the official. The puck will be dropped to the right of Michael Elko. Control off the draw, not immediately won by either side. Now it is ESM that had it for a moment. Puck comes out of the zone, they must touch up. They'll try to backhand in the meantime, but it's blocked off. And now an offside is ruled. Gasparic did the blocking, tried to force his way up ice. Offside ruled. They'll do it again, just outside the zone. Drop the puck, that is. Won by ESM, but a great move by the winger to take control and send it down low. Time winding down here in the first overtime. Here's a shot from the point. Came off the stick of Camastro. Back out and across, and not sure if that one got through or went wide. ESM breakout. Final moments. First overtime. Take it away. Chance going the other way. Gasparic. And we get a stoppage. And I believe we've reached the end of the first overtime period. The goalies will switch sides. Another 5-on-5 overtime period will take place, followed by, if there is still not a winner, a 5-man shootout. Think of the international games that are played. The IIHF will do it this way, as will we, where it is 5 shooters aside to decide the winner, even in a win-or-go-home situation, just as they do as I get word from the war room that with all the help we have received, none of which coming from the cable provider giving us Wi-Fi, that's for certain, but everyone else has been a tremendous assistance to myself, getting this stream, getting my voice to you people at home. Rowan Laddick, Brendan, Brady, and Michael all helping out, with appearances from Kevin Broderick as well. A chance. ESM. They'll flash one across the crease. Back to the point. Jablonski. Does he have another goal in him? Blocked down. In front. Spun across. And it's steered to safety. Along the far wall. The puck comes out. The Friars have numbers. 2-on-1 developing. Across for Schlicht. He couldn't knock it down. The sauce had too much sauce on it. It goes across to the other side. ESM now break out. Will fatigue become a factor here, as these players have played more hockey in one game than they have possibly ever had? Monteleone. Even though that is the case, benches will be shortened, as it is win or go home. Schlicht from the point, wide with the shot. Clearing pass. Here there comes ESM. He's in. Diving Elko! Holy guacamole! He came out the goalie to make a diving poke check. Schlicht. Behind the net. Will backhand it across. Intercepted. To the front of the net. Diving play. Still Becker. He's shot blocked. Big block. For the ESM defenseman, I think it's Jablonski. They were looking to get Beckman going the other way. It's Gracie Griffith firing across. It hit a skate of a Friar. Deflects into the ESM zone. Jablonski there first. He'll try to play it up the far wall. In will. Out into the neutral zone. That's where it's sent back in by Cummings. Jablonski back on it. They have plenty of time to dissect and come up with a plan to get it in the neutral zone. That was probably not part of the plan. They turn it over. Giacopi takes the shot. Save made. Rebound. It's loose. Oh my goodness, it's loose. And it comes out to safety. Wow. Friars that close. Giacopi going the other way. St. Clair trying to lift it out. Runs into some trouble. Gracie Griffith pinching in. Taken back by Beckman. Fires it in front of the net, dangerously so, but ESM get away with it. Not out of the woods yet, now they come out of the zone. Fired back in by the Friars. Round the boards it goes. 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Oh my goodness, a near gaff there from Beckman and Morbillo is like, well, yeah, I'm gonna cover the puck here. This is getting a little wild here. Let's settle down, boys. In a much higher pitched voice, of course. Face off to the right of Morbillo. 1 in the defensive end by Bonaventure. I think. Great play at the blue line. Sharks have numbers. 3-on-1 over the blue. And Gus Barrick, who else, comes over to make the defensive stop. The Branny Biggin Award recipient. I know the game hasn't ended. He's getting it. Aspromonte knocked to the ice. ESM lifted out of the zone. It'll bank right on go to Elko, and Elko will stop it. An ozone draw for the Sharks coming shortly with just 1:39 seconds left in the second and final overtime period. You are listening to the freshman division Suffolk County High School Hockey League playoffs here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan on the call, Brady Campbell, Brendan doing a Hall of Fame job on the board. I say Hall of Fame because Phil Pritchard, the keeper of the cup, I had the pleasure of meeting him today, is in the building down here in Jacksonville. Here is Schlicht. Schlicht somehow gets through everyone. Schlicht on the backhand. Blocked. Perhaps everyone was a bit hyperbolic there, but he got through a lot of players there. Gasparic, has he played the whole overtime? Has he even seen the bench? Down low, Jablonski. He's played a ton of ice time here as well. Who will make the critical error? Will there even be a critical error? As we're getting down to it, the final minute of the final overtime in the first round of the quarterfinals here between St. Anthony and ESM. Gasparic. Low. Becker trying to go between the legs. It's intercepted. And cleared out of the zone. It'll bank down. Will it have enough for icing? It will. ESM ice the puck with 35 ticks of the clock left here in the final overtime period. If you like what you hear, you're enjoying the stream when it's working, and believe me, we know, be sure to give a like on the video, maybe hit subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at LI Sports Network. Tons of updates, tons of great stuff. Anyway, face off, won by the Friars. Take it the other way, a breakaway! Beckman is in, Beckman scores! The golden goal! Kevin Beckman sends the Sharks to the semis! The celebration of Kevin Beckman, embraced by his goalie Morbillo in the dying moments of overtime. The golden goal, the Branny Biggin recipient. The second I always give out to Kevin Beckman. Oh my goodness, what a game of hockey that was. An instant classic between the Friars and Sharks. It was a shame one of them had to lose. It's another shame they couldn't play another couple of times for a best of 3. But ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, one and done it was. And what a game we have had. 2-1 the final, ESM over St. Anthony's. And the good sports they are, they will shake hands. Wow, what a game. As I will catch my breath, and maybe I need a little downtime after that one. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League freshman playoffs here on LI Sports Network. From Brady Campbell, Michael Brown, Brendan, and Rowan, and everyone in between, thank you so much for tuning in. For Ryan Brannigan, that is all for now. Have a wonderful night.